In a developing story, 50 years of serving Muskogee, Oklahoma calls for celebration this year with a special guest, Dr. Bernice King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter. Fox 23's Paris Rain is live after Dr. Bernice King visited Muskogee for the first time. Paris, that must have been a special day.
That's right, John. Dr. Bernice King says the load is heavy, but it is her responsibility to continue the legacy of her parents. So speaking to more than 800 people in the Muskogee area and people who travel to come to hear her speak, it's not just motivation for them, it's the ability for her to shed the light on a legacy she hopes to continue. After 50 years of serving the Muskogee community and being the only Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center in Oklahoma, his daughter, Dr. Bernice King, joins them for an intimate conversation as she sheds light on her parents' legacy and pursuing of nonviolent social change.
We individually and ultimately collectively have got to focus on what is it that we want to see ultimately in our world. And of course, we have been talking about the beloved community that my father talked about in his lifetime, that my mother actually further expanded upon as the beloved community. When you talk about really a world where love prevails.
Her mom built the first Martin Luther King Jr. Center in their basement when Dr. Bernice King was 5 years old, just 2 months after her father was assassinated. And now she is the director.
And so, you know, this year, as a part of our theme through the King Center, we talked about shifting the cultural climate through the study and practice of Kingian nonviolence.
Things like taking a personal audit of your own life and your commitment to justice and equity, just to name a few. She says being a love-centered person is where it starts.
When I see the energy of a young generation saying that this is not right, we want another future, we want to make sure that we are committed to each other as a humanity, that gives me hope to keep going on. Seeing that there are people out there doing good work and recognizing I come from ancestors. That is in my DNA. Right. If they overcame, I and we can overcome.
Being the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there were many things her and her family had to overcome. But when it comes to fulfilling the legacy left behind and what part she plays, she says,
sometimes people, they're not born into a legacy like that. But when you're born into something that the world is still benefiting from, how dare I try to go over here and carve out this big legacy for me? This is a lot to carry forward. And it's still incomplete. There's so many dimensions and pieces to it. And there's still things that we have to do constantly because there are things that are trying to come against that legacy.
The intimate conversation left many people in the Muskogee community inspired, and as well as those who traveled there to hear her speak, to not just do the good work, but to do the work that promotes nonviolent social change. She says that no, you don't have to be like Dr. King, but by all means, continue to move forward. Live in the newsroom covering news that matters, I'm Paris Rain, Fox 23 News.